Okay everyone, so welcome again to a session for learning more about the float property. And I'm hoping you got the idea on how an element with a float property declared inside of it and an element without a float property declared inside of it will be working together for creating the layout that you would want to be displayed on the browser, and how you can maximize the clear property for you to be able to move the element that has no declared float property below the the image or the element that has a float property declared inside of it. And you also got an idea on how the float properties here that were declared in each of the div elements that we have here works when we go and combine the float property and then the clear property, and how they are properly positioned inside of our container or the parent container once we go and maximize the use of the two properties inside of a floating item or a floating element. So now what I want to do here is to just go and show you in example number 4 a practical way on how we can actually use the things that we've learned here in example number 3. Now let's go inside our code editor and let's go and do the initial layout for our container 4. So I would want to have at least 3 containers that will be named services. So let's have services 1, 2, and 3 and multiply that by 3. And let's have that 1, 2, and 3 here. So we have services. And inside of those services, I would want to have another H2 here that will be saying that these are our services. So let's say sometimes we are working with a website that will have some cards of some sort that will be displaying an image, or let's say a hovering image, or let's say a list of items that will be discussing the services of a certain company. So let's say this is a card box that, or card box, or let's say let's have a description here: services offered, or package 1, right? So we can have package 1 here, and inside of that we will have some services offered, or let's just make this services offered. Right, guys? This is the common thing that you would normally see in some sites, from where they will be having some list of items inside of divs that looks like cards. So that's what we're going to do here right now. So let me just format this so at least we'll have that, and then let's go and see. So we have package 1, package 2, package 3, and the services that you offer depending on the packages that the client would want to have. So let's go look at our browser here and how that looks like. So we have package 1, package 2, package 3, right? So now let's go back to our container here, or our code here, and let's go and put a container inside of it. So I don't want to make our lives that difficult, so let's just go and copy our container here and then replace the, let's just have a example number 4 here, and then put the container here and container 4. Let's save that and let's look at our browser. Now we have our container and we have our services and packages inside of it. Now let's go back to our code editor, and let me just go and place here in each of the div here a general class that we can select so that we can implement styling for all of the divs, and then implement specific stylings that we would want to be applied for each of the divs. So let's go back here in our style sheet here, and services dash dash 1, in case that we would want to go and give specific styling for each of the divs here, we will have some modifiers here. We will be able to modify each of the styles of each of the elements. Now, what I want to do here is to go and text align the header or all of the elements inside of the container. So let's go and see what will that look like here. And now what I want to do here is to place each of these packages, package 1, package 2, package 3, in a separate box that will be displayed in a horizontal manner. So let's try to implement that. Now let's go to our code editor here and then select our services, and let's give it a width of 25%. So based from the width of the container, we would want to get the 25% of that, and we would want to add a margin of 2%, so that's 24, and a padding of 2%. So 25, 26, 27, 28, 29%, right? And let's give it a height. Let's first see what that looks like in our browser here. So we have 1, 2, 3. No colors yet. So let's go and try to give a color for each of the boxes here. So let's have background color of blue, background color of green for now, and background color of pink. So let's see what that looks like. Now we have package 1, package 2, package 3, right guys? So now what I want to do here is to go and center them and give them a specific margin and padding that will be giving us some space inside of our container. So let's just give them a height of 30% of the total viewport. So let's see what that will look like. So at least that will be. Now if we have them in a vertical manner, you will see that it doesn't look good, right? So if we try to go and float them to the left, let's see what will that look like. Let's see. Now we have package 1, package 2, package 3, and we can now list here some of the services offered that we provide, or your client will be providing their customers. Package 2, package 3. So this is how you can actually maximize the use of the float property and create some galleries like this one. We can even put some border here if we want. Let's go and give this a border based from what we've learned in our previous sessions. Solid. Let's have RGBA 47, 74 to 30 here. So that will be a colored blue, 0.7 opacity. And let's see what will that look like. So we have a blue border here now. Okay, so you can play around with this depending on the colors that you would want to use. This is colored blue, so let's go and change this to something that will be having a different value here. So we have package 1, package 2, package 3 here with enough space here because we have 90 divided by 3, so that would be a total of 30, right? So we just gave it a width of 25% and a margin of 2% and a padding of 2%. So the thing here, we were able to go and estimate how we can put the 3 divs here in the center. So we have a total of 30 here, but we did not totally completed the 30%. We have 1% missing, but this looks already good, especially for the spacing, right? So we don't need to change that anymore. So now, I'm hoping you're getting the idea here on how to maximize the use of the float property. So instead of us having the elements in a vertical position from where they will be, if we remove this, you would see that it doesn't really, oops, let me just save that first. You would see that it doesn't look good because there's too much space here, but it looks better if it's in a horizontal manner. So let's go put that back here. We can even put some back shadow so that it will have some sort, and you can make this clickable by using interactive content such as, let's just give this a back shadow of 0.5 by using anchor elements. But we'll talk about the interactive contents in our other section. So you would see now that we have some border here, and it looks like it looks a lot better, and we can add some other contents here. You use a list of items that our clients offer for their customers. So we can even go and try to change the text here. Let's say color. Let's see if white will be looking good inside of the elements. I'm hoping you got the idea on how to use the float properties for creating cards like this one, similar to this one, and on how you can maximize the use of the float property for showcasing certain packages, or let's say certain content or certain services that your future client will be offering to their customers. So thank you and see you on our next lesson.